Okay, so we are about to perform lumbar stabilization here on the spine. So I've already tucked a blood pressure cuff in the small of our patient's back. So it's right under the back, and I've got access to the actual pressure gauge and the bulb here. Okay, I'm going to lessen the pressure a little bit here. So in order to start lumbar stabilization, what I want to do is I'm actually going to palpate just medial to the ASIS, and I'm going to have my patient palpate on the opposite side so that we both feel together. And I'm going to have her cough or laugh or giggle. Go ahead. And what I'm going to feel is right underneath my fingertips, I'm going to feel transverse abdominis contracting. And I want her to feel that. So I'll tell my patient, do you feel the muscle under your fingertips contract? And hopefully she says yes, because she can feel her own muscles contract. And I'll say, that's the muscle that we're going to be focusing on. So during abdominal stabilization, what I'm going to have you do, or have her do, is I'm going to have her pull her belly button slightly towards her spine, and hopefully I'll feel the contraction underneath my fingertips here. So go ahead and pull your belly button slightly towards your spine. Okay, and there we go. And it just pops up under my fingertips. Notice nothing else moved. So I made sure she's not contracting her glutes to help. We don't have any rectus abdominis contracting, so she's not like forward flexing, or she's not going to create lovely beach muscles here with this exercise, but her spine will definitely be more stable. And I'm going to educate my patient that contraction of this muscle under her fingertips that she's feeling right now is going to corset the lumbar spine and provide improved stability through intra-abdominal pressure. Now, once she's done that, I'm going to have her hold it for 5 seconds, and then we'll relax. And I'll have her repeat it a couple of times until she kind of gets the hang of it. From there, I'm going to add the pelvic floor. So we've created this corseting action, so we're going to be pushing down as we breathe. What we don't want to do is push stuff out the bottom, which means we need to contract our pelvic floor. The pelvic floor cues to contract. Most ladies know it as a Kegel or a Kegel, or squeezing like someone has to go to the bathroom. Guys struggle with this a little bit. So for guys, I'll add the additional cue. Usually it's because they don't ever have to wait in line for the restroom like women do. But for guys, sometimes a good visual is they're walking slowly into icy cold water, and the water's rising higher and higher and higher until they have to lift the boy parts out of the water. And that usually gives them a good cue to contract the pelvic floor and lift. Now, this is not something we palpate or check. Like we palpated transverse abdominis, we're not checking if they're contracting pelvic floor. It's not that type of clinic, okay? So, once we have this going on, okay, we've got transverse abdominis, so I'll tell her, pull your belly button towards your spine and contract your pelvic floor like you're in line for the bathroom or you're walking into icy cold water, and I'm going to have her hold that together for 5 seconds. Rest and repeat, and we'll repeat it a couple of times. If she struggled with it, I might send her home with this today. If not, I'm going to use the blood pressure cuff to check and see how well she's doing. So I'm going to pump the blood pressure cuff up to 40. Okay, so I'm going to lower it down just a little bit there, and I'll have her wiggle on it a little bit, wiggle, just to make sure that the bladder of the cuff is actually full. Okay, go ahead and relax. And it stayed pretty good, okay? Now, what I'm going to have her do is I'm going to have her tighten transverse abdominis, so pull your belly button towards your spine and squeeze like you got to go to the bathroom. And you'll see the number went up just a little bit. It's now at about 42, which means she's holding steady. If she were to contract rectus abdominis, go ahead and crunch for me. You'll see the number jumps up. Come up with your head. There we go. Okay, see how it went way up above 50 there. Okay, go ahead and relax. That means if we're going above 50, she's contracting the wrong muscles, and we're actually activating one of our spinal mover muscles instead of our stabilizers. So we need to make sure that she stays between 40 and 50 with all her exercises. So now I might have her practice and repeat, watching the dial to make sure that she always stays between 40 and 50. So I'll have her contract, hold for 5, and relax. Okay. Finally, what we're going to do is begin having her move. So the point of spinal stabilization is that the spine stays steady the entire time while the body moves around it. Every day during our lives, we are doing things with our arms and our legs where our spine needs to remain steady. So our goal here is that her spine learns how to hold steady while she walks, while she sits, while she types, while she kicks, while she runs, all those different activities. So we're going to start with one of the easiest, which is a bent knee fallout. So she's going to hold steady, Okay, so she's going to give a belly button pull and her pelvic floor, or squeeze like she's got to go to the bathroom, and then she's going to slowly let one knee fall out to the side. All the while I'm monitoring to make sure she stays above 40. As soon as she hits 40, I say, oh, stop, head back to center. Keep pulling, pull, 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 belly button pull, beautiful. So I'm always giving her cues to stay between the 40 and 50. Then she'd do the contralateral. Eventually, she's going to learn how to control this, or I can give her the blood pressure cuff so that she can monitor it on her own. Okay? From there, we can advance the exercises, adding more and more complex arm and leg motions to challenge the lumbar spine to remain stable. We're good?